My dear friend, today we discuss Believe in Yourself, written by Dr. Joseph Murphy. The power of your subconscious mind. Chapter 1. Make your dreams come true. Joseph in the Bible means disciplined or controlled imagination. It is one of the primal faculties of mind. It has the power to project and clothe your ideas, giving them visibility on the screen of space. Israel loved Joseph. Israel is the spiritually awakened man who knows the power of controlled imagination. It is called the son of his old age. Son means expression. Old age, old age refer wisdom and knowledge of the law of mind. When you become familiar with the power of imagination, you will call it the son of your old age. It is not the flight of years. It is really the dawn of wisdom and divine knowledge in you. Imagination is the mighty instrument used by great scientists, artists, inventors, architects, and mythics. When the word said, it is impossible, it can't be done. The man with imagination said, it is done. Through your imagination, you can also penetrate the depth of reality to reveal the secret of nature. A great industrialist told me one time how he started in a small store. He said that I used to dream of a large corporation with branches all over the country. He added the regularly, systematically, he pictured in his mind the giant building, offices, factories, and stores, knowing that through the alchemy of the mind, he could weave the fabric out of which each dream would be clothed. He prospered, began to attract to himself by a universal law of attraction. The ideas, personal, friends, money, just everything needed for the emergence of his ideal. He truly exercised the cultivate his imagination. Now he lived with her mental pattern in his mind until imagination clothed them in front. I particularly like one comment that he made as follows. It is just easy to imagine yourself successful as it is to imagine failure, but far more interesting. Joseph is a dreamer of dreams, The means This means he has visions, images, and idols in his mind and knows that there is a creative power that respond to his mental picture. The mental image would hold or developed in feeling. It is wisely said that all our senses are modification of the one sense feeling. Thomas Troward, a teacher of mental science, says feeling is the law and the law is the feeling. Feeling is the fountainhead of power. We must charge our mental picture with feeling in order to get result. We are told Joseph dreamed a dream. When he told it to his family, they hated him. Perhaps as you read this, you have a dream and an idol, a plan or a purpose that you would like to accomplish. To hate is to reject in Bible language. The thought, feeling, belief, and opinion in your mind are the brethren that challenge you, belittle your dream, and say to you, you can't, it is impossible, forget it. Perhaps other thought come into your mind which scoff at your plan or ambition. You discover that there is a quarrel in your mind with your own society, opposition setting. The way to handle the opposition in your mind is to detach your attention from evidence of only what you can see and hear, that is the appearance of image thing. You need to begin to think clearly and with interest about your goal or objective. When your mind is engaged on your goal or objective, you are using the creative law of mind. It will come to pass. Lo, myself rose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheave stood round about and made obedience to myself. Lift your idol or desire up in substance consciousness, exalt it, commit yourself wholeheartedly to it, praise it, give your attention, love and devotion to your ideal. And as you continue to do so, all the fearful thought will make obeisance to your exalt state of mind. That is, they will lose their power and disappear from the mind. Through your faculty to imagine the end result, you have control over my circumstance or condition. If you wish to bring about the realization of any wish, desire, or ideal, form a mental picture of fulfillment in your mind. Constantly imagine the reality of your desire. In this way, you will actually complete, compel it into being. What you imagine as true already exists in the next dimension of your mind. If you remain faithful to your ideal, it will one day objectify itself. The master architect within you will project on the screen and visibility what you impress on your mind. Joseph here describe imagination. Joseph means imagination. Wear a coat of many colors. A coat is the Bible, is a psychological covering. Your psychological garment are the mental attitude, mood, and feeling you entertain. The coat of many colors represents the many facets of the diamond or your capacity to clothe any ideas into reality. Can you imagine your friend who is poor living in the lap of luxury? You can see his face light up with joy. See his expression change with the broad smile cross his lips. You can hear him tell you what you want to hear. You can see him exactly as you wish to see him. That is, he is radiant, happy, prosperous, as also successful. Your imagination is the coat of many colors. It can clothe and objectify any idea or desire. You can imagine abundance where lack is, peace where discord is, as well as health where there is sickness. His brethren said to him, Salt to indeed reign over you. Imagination is the first faculty. It takes precedence over all the other power of element of consciousness. You have 12 faculties are a brethren, but your imagination, when disciplined, enable you to collapse time and space and rise above all limitation. The phrase Joseph is sold into Egypt means that your concept or desire must be subjectively understood first before it become objective field. Every concept must go down into Egypt, meaning into the subjective space where the birth of ideas take place. Out of Egypt have I called my son. Joseph is the commander of Egypt. Control the whole conceptive realm. Whatever prison you may be in, whether in is the prison of fear, sickness, lack, or limitation of any kind, remember that Joseph is the commander in prison who can deliver you. You can imagine your freedom and continue to do so until it is subjectively understood. Then, after consider for a moment a distinguished, talented architect who can build a beautiful modern 20th century city in his mind, complete with super highway, swimming pools, aquarium, park, and so on. He can construct in his mind and most beautiful palace the eye has ever seen. He can see the building in his entirely, completely erected before he ever gives his plan to the builder. Where was the building? It was his imagination. With your imagination, you can actually hear the invisible voice of your mother, even with your imagination. You can actually hear the visible voice of your mother, even though she lives 10,000 miles from here. You can also see her clearly, quite as vividly as if she were present. This is the wonderful power you possess. You can develop and cultivate this power to become successful and prosperous. Haven't you heard the sales manager say, I have to let John go because his attitude is wrong? The business world knows the importance of right attitude. I remember many years ago having printed a small article on reincarnation. These pamphlets were on display on a book counter of a church where I lectured. In the beginning, very few of them were sold because the sales girl was violently opposed to its contents. I explained the biblical meaning of reincarnation to her, the origin of a story, as well as what it was all about. She understood the contents of the drama and became enthusiastic about the booklet. They were all sold before my lecture series were complete. This was a entrance of the importance of the right mental attitude. Your mental attitude means your mental reaction to people, circumstance, conditions, and object in space. What is your relationship with your co-workers? You are friendly with people, with animals, and with the universe in general. Do you think that the universe is hostile? The world urges you a living. In short, what is your attitude? The emotional reaction of the above mentioned girl was one of the deep seated prejudice. That was the wrong attitude in selling books. She was biased toward the book and the writer. You can develop the right mental attitude when you realize the nothing externally can upset you or hurt you without your mental consent. You are the only thinker in your world. Consequently, nothing can move you to anger, grief, or sorrow without your mental consent.